This is Good Chat, a conversation where Sunday truth meets our weekday lives.
It's been good talking to you. It's been good talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was demanding justice. There's a transition.
There you go. That's right. Fairness, justice.
Yeah. Rolling out of it and into his second week in a row for Doug.
Yeah.
Someone brought up that's like, well, we don't normally do that like back-to-back weeks unless it's Brian. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he swapped with somebody.
Oh, okay.
Because we had the schedule all laid out. Because I came back and saw that he was on again. I'm like, why are you on twice in a row? I didn't do that to you.
I just said Doug needed justice in his life. He needed to really reflect on that.
It's a big topic.
It's a big topic, yeah.
Yeah.
He
did a great job with it.
One of the things I wrote down, he did a really good job at it. One of the things I wrote down was like, consequences make me squirmy. Just like the concept of, like, did I do anything? Like, especially unintended consequences and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about that. And I don't know a lot of people who that doesn't kind of like just a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, if they're thinking about it.
If they're thinking about it.
A lot of people don't think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's when like the bad stuff starts to roll in.
Yeah.
But yeah, they make me squirmy, and the way of phrasing, the way that he sort of phrased something in there around justice was just like, this justice is for your flourishing, and like God's justice is found in surrender. Like we want to surrender to his will, to his justice within our own lives, like in reflecting on that. But really what that is it's almost another little aspect to surrender of, it's not just I give you all these things, but God, claim me. Like, let your justice reign in my life at this point, in embracing in that. And so the consequences of everything that we have are all the things that we don't want to give up in there, or that we don't want to face in there. It's God's justice that is pruning and proving his will into our lives. You know what I mean? There's more on that, but I just kind of wanted to kick it off with that little bit there. I'm still stewing on as well.
So how would you define justice in that context, in as you're talking about that?
God's will over mine in my life. Yeah. And that often comes face to face with, of course, my own will, my own way I think things should work, even when I think it's God's way, when it's actually like, it needs to be yielded even further in there.
Right.
But even God's justice over my wrongdoing in the world as well. Like when I try to wield my power or wield my influence over certain things, it's my own way, where it's his correction and correct way reigning in my life instead.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job kind of recasting. I thought that was his first big challenge is defining justice in that way, because like he said at the beginning, we tend to think about it as justice system, courts, what's right and fair in the world.
Which the text also addresses that too.
Right.
Like it's setting up the system.
But how he recast that and made that something personal. That was super interesting. I hadn't heard it talked about in those terms. And I love how he rooted it in, God's character. And that it takes, of course I heard it takes humility to surrender to that in greater and greater ways. And it sounds redundant, but it's humbling to realize how little humility you have, But to recognize that it is an ongoing learning endeavor to prune out of my life the things that are my way, my my bias, my my desire, whatever, and
Yeah.
to truly allow God's desires to take place and take that their place, instead. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that justice in that sense, whenever I've thought about it since that message, what immediately comes to mind is His mercy.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for His mercy.
Amen.
Yeah, because it really is and even He mentioned it. It's almost like a 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I mean, it's a lifelong learning, but it's a slow. We're slow to yield it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just an ongoing challenge.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He accounted for it too, and I'm so thankful for that. Like, God accounted for how slow it's going to take us to. We're slow on the uptake on a lot of things, and sometimes we try to reclaim things for ourselves in there too. And He's patient in His mercy as well.
I just think this whole series has been so fascinating because, the number of people that I've talked to who Deuteronomy, like, well, I'm looking forward to that because I've never been able to make sense of that, or what's the relevant application to today or whatever,
Right?
And but now that we're in the middle of it, I realized even more so. I mean, I noticed it obviously at the beginning when I was laying it out. I'm like, oh my gosh, here's the application pieces. They're all over the place in terms of God's people, who He's trying to form into this distinct community. Yeah, this is distinct people that mirror and radiate His character. They're getting ready to go into and be surrounded by a culture that, I mean, how many different ways does He say it? I mean,
right.
This text that I'm looking at for this week, it goes back again. It's like, these people are, it's sorcery, it's burning their children as offerings. I mean, it's just this hideous, pagan kind of culture. Yeah. And while some of that may not be the same in our culture, it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's equally as brutal and heartless and self-serving. I mean, and so that's where all this application comes out. Yeah. So clearly. It's like, we got to follow what what Moses is telling God's people to remember. We got to remember those same things because our culture is equally as threatening to us in terms of, righteousness, holiness, purity, whatever, being that people that reflect God. Yeah, absolutely. So it's always stunning to me how such ancient Old Testament stuff can be so cotton picking relevant,
People
Amazing.
have been people the entire time.
Well, right. Exactly.
We're so tempted to think, oh, well, we're more advanced and modern. Like, we definitely have a grip on this thing now. And
right.
Like, no, we've just
refined our ways
we're
to bury ourselves. Right.
Yeah.
Well, right. We keep inventing new ways to.
Yeah. One of the other pieces that he hit, he addressed very quickly postmodernism and the what's yours is your truth. And what's my truth is my truth in there. And
I thought that was excellent.
It was so excellent. But it's the same sort of we are consistent in our ability to live in delusion. Yes. Across humanity.
100%.
And he God is, if you believe that He is a God, then He is the architect and the creator of reality. There's a structure and a format and what the kingdom really is and made for. And so He knows how this works. He knows the ways in which we can flourish in this space as He intended, as has been promised. Yeah. And we're the ones who get in the way of this stuff all the time. Instead of trusting the one who gets it. He gets point A. If we do things like this way, it's going to get to point B. Yeah. Or it's at least going to affect it down the line and things like that too. Yeah. It's just this constant. Yeah. Yeah.
And as he alluded to, I'm stunned at my ability to doubt that He knows how I would thrive best. And it really forces us to strengthen our trust muscle because we have to trust that his way will get us from point A to point B, or wherever we're headed. And so often, and he talked about this too. It's so, I think we must just be so influenced by what we see around us that that must really impact it in more ways than, so in other words, that impulse to sin is not just innate in us, but it's around us too. So it's, we're getting it from both sides.
Right. Yeah.
And so to really, strengthen your trust muscle, which I think happens as we, spend time in his word daily, or, we're exposed to it daily. And I think he alluded to that too, about the king write these things down and read them every day,
Yes, absolutely. I love it when the Bible is self-referential. And this was this is the chapter where it's like, these are the laws being written out that the judges are going to carry, that they're going to abide by. It's God's word, not just their best idea of what's going to happen. It's just so cool to see, like, this is the thing, and I'm reading the thing right now, like, that they're talking about. But trusting in his truth in the way that the architect has laid things out and knows what's best in that.
Yeah.
It's tough to abide by all the time.
Yeah.
What was the other part? I was going to go along with what you were talking about, just the easy distractedness that we have. I lost it.
I think there's a number of, I don't know the best way to describe it, but it feels like stewardship messages in this, in the sense that not just financially, but there's a mindset. Dylan's week hit on it really big in Deuteronomy 8. You're about to go in and you're about to inhabit houses you didn't build and farm land you didn't, plant, all that stuff. And you're gonna basically be fat and happy.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna forget.
Yes. Yeah.
You're gonna forget that repeated line through Deuteronomy, the land in which I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we don't bring much to the equation. God's provided this, and he's given us this, trying to prep us for how to handle it and how to steward it in a responsible way, so that it allows us to thrive rather than, be the thing that trips us up or tanks us,
Right.
And Doug alluded to it yesterday. We're talking about those, he made the jokes like, all these things are fine, except for concubines, but maybe, I think he said maybe.
Yeah, he said
Phil
maybe.
and I were sitting there going, maybe? But, all these things that he provided, and they're not wrong in and of themselves, but when we begin to lean on them to be our provision, our provider, our security, our safety,
or even delude ourselves into thinking I'd made this happen in the first place. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and we've seen this warning throughout Deuteronomy as well so far. It's just like, don't make things gods that aren't gods. Don't make idols out of things that are gifts to you, that I've given you, this land I'm giving you, and all that goes with it. How easily we spin that around, make it about us, or make it about the gift.
Oh yeah,
that we forget the giver.
Oh yeah.
Oh my word. So much in there. Just amazing.
And it's these, when you think about the character of God and how he wants us to mirror him, it combats all of our base human instincts of when we just fall back into being a human being, of our laziness and our pridefulness and all of these things. Like, his whole way is a way to push against that and get rid of our lives. And it's in that slow pruning that we talked about, the mercy of God, that it happens, but it's like his way goes against all the things we'll naturally fall into. And so it's like, it takes that
for sure
focus, daily habit in being with him in every moment that we have in our lives, and the constant yielding.
Yeah, I think for me, I have to fight this idea somewhere in me that's pretty strong, but there's this idea in me that somehow if I follow God's directions to the T, I might be safe, but I'm going to miss something. I'm going to miss out on something.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's interesting.
And maybe that's goes all the way back to the fall. I mean, maybe that's what sin is like. Did he really say? Did he really say you couldn't eat the fruit?
Right.
You're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss out on the wisdom and the knowledge that God
you
has.
got some FOMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that, and it just it's such an amazingly powerful urge, and I think we're talking about the power of the sin nature when we start talking about that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's one I'm going to be chewing on for a little bit right there.
Yeah.
So what does it look like going forward with this message for you this week?
Yeah, it's once again, I'm planning to start out just to, in some ways, do a little review because we're about midway, 2/3 of the way through, and just again to setting that stage that the relevant applications to our lives are huge in this, and there's so much in here that we need to write down and remember, because how God knows the weaknesses of his people. He knows where they're vulnerable. And I say his people, us too.
Yeah.
He knows where we're vulnerable. He knows our pronenesses. And so these messages of Moses are really trying to prep us and prepare us, in a sense, armor us. To be ready to face those things. And when we confront them or when we engage them, to realize, oh, wait, I was warned about this, kind of thing. And so this week he's talking about all of the influences and the voices that you're going to hear in this new culture, this culture that's you're replacing, essentially. Right. And so, we've already seen it where he's like, don't be like them. And they, turn around and they're, they'll be like them. They'll do the thing, they'll practice the things, they'll intermarry, all the things he talked about this week.
Yeah.
And so this week he's talking about, make sure you're listening to me only. You just tune into me, dude. Listen to me. And I think in the age of podcasts, all the voices that are around social media, whatever, there's even more noise in our world and more voices wanting us to listen to them.
100%. Yeah.
And so it's even more critical to really tune in. And he basically is saying, listen to God's voice. He will speak to you through his prophets. He will speak to you through his word. And ultimately he'll speak to you through his son. Yeah. And so it comes a number of times that Deuteronomy brings back the Messiah factor is super fascinating too. And Doug talked about that yesterday. So it's more of that kind of be intentional about who you're giving access.
Yes. Yeah.
Through your ears.
Which being a people pleaser, really hard to do. Like, needs to happen all the time. Need to check that sort of muscle in me of who am I holding myself accountable to? The opinions of all these people and listening to their how I should look, how I should be, and all that stuff, or am I listening to what God wants? Because often God wants my heart and for me to live with him and be in the way that he's made me to be. And when I care too much about how other people see me and all that stuff, let's take finances as an example. More people in the keeping up with the Joneses mentality, it's the care about what you look like, what your success looks like on the outside. They don't often care about how am I feeling, how secure am I in treating and stewarding my finances in there.
Right.
Like, it doesn't look flashy when you're doing that.
Right.
Sometimes, like little bits here and there, but ultimately it's a very, I'm secure here, and I don't need all this wealth and all these things outside because I'm taking care of what's important in that space. And it's the same thing. The culture wants to see us on the outside of how powerful, how wonderful we can be. It pleases people.
Successful.
It makes people want to be around you. It's all this stuff. And it's like the people pleaser in me totally can lean that way of like, well, maybe I should just take up a little thing here to look a little better, that people will accept me, you know, how I dress, how I do whatever. All good things to some degree, but gets misused or got a lot of phlegm in there, mishandled in a way that wasn't the way that God intended, rather than listening to him and letting that influence those pieces of my life as well.
Yeah. So once again, I mean, these messages these lessons out of Deuteronomy are so timely for living in our day
really
today.
relevant.
Yeah. And those simple messages or lessons we're learning, it's kind of like back to second grade, right? I mean, it's back to its fundamentals. Yeah. Or what is it? Everything I needed to know. I learned in kindergarten, you know. It's like back to the basics. And I think that's what Moses is saying. It's like fundamentals, guys. Stay connected to God. Listen to him only. Don't mimic the culture around you. Yeah. Don't be conformed, you know, be transformed.
Yeah.
It's really not new. It's just reaffirming the importance of that.
It's as Phil says, though, we're leaky people.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's always good to come
100%.
back.
Yeah,
always good to come back. Well, hey, good chat.
Good chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good Chat is a podcast by Foothills Church located in Cameron Park, California. For more information about our church, visit foothillscp.org. Thanks for listening.